you about the lighting today. Let's just have a quick look. We are live, so you would expect these sort of things. Right, hopefully it's not too bad on the video. Here where I am, it's a bit dull, but hopefully it'll be okay. It's the first time we're trying to do this. Welcome Care Shepherd who's watching. It's just popped up. The idea of this video is just really have a quick play with Facebook Live, see what actually, how it works, can we actually communicate with people, can people ask questions, and really to just let people know where we're up to at the moment. The journey at the moment, writing We Can't Spell Success Without You PowerPlan, and hello Andrea, who's also come on, is just been a bit of a journey. Like I've said, if you've been watching the videos, it's lasted for around 30 years. And it's been, you know, quite exciting this time around because we're looking at writing the book and getting it published by the end of the year. Now, I know that videos don't really give much away. However, you know, the book's subject to copyright, like I've said before. I'm still currently writing it. Anybody got ideas, you know, when they've been on diet plans, if they struggle with anything? The diabetes type 2 is probably the big one, where people, you know, are on medication, can't figure out if the medication's making things worse or better, and looking for an alternative, as many people are who want to actually gain weight, where they start to feel ill or it starts to affect their everyday life. So I'll just do a quick update. So like I said with the book, it's now up to 329 pages of 42,612 words as we speak, which astonishes me. I'd have thought it'd have been about 200 pages. Costing wise, which is a bit of a worry, I did originally say it'd probably go out about £14.99. I'm working that out as 0.041 pence per page. So that's working out probably about £13.48 at the moment, which is printing costs, distribution, postage. So I kind of factored all that in as well. And I'm hoping to actually start proofing it and editing it back in 2 weeks' time. So I'm off to Bulgaria, so while we're over there, print it off, start editing. I've already realised that there's certain things I can't put in it. So there's a point in there which is basically talking about friends where they can't be as supportive as what they can be. And I've had that in the past where, you know, I'm trying to do what I'm doing and people just try and distract you or tempt you or can't understand and won't support you. Also, I had a lot of conversations with people in canteens and restaurants about food that they were serving, that they really didn't know what they were serving, which I found quite astounding. But that would just make the book huge and huge. So I'm going to take a different angle on it, try and condense it down, but also try and get the point across. So that's the first bit. The second bit, the black peas video. People have told me in the street what the mistake is in the video, but nobody's actually commented on it. So the next person to let me know, message me, comment or whatever. Hello Gary, who's just joined. Let me know, because basically we want to try and give these 52 books away. The idea behind it is simply people can read it, try it, and it's going to get the word out, and a lot of people will find it interesting. Oh, and hello Heather as well. People are coming and going now. Elizabeth. Everyone's welcome, and ask a question if you want to. So today was going to be the bloopers part 2, which was announcing the book winner. I've delayed that until next week. Hopefully somebody will let me know by then, and your name can be in lights on YouTube, and, you know, basically we'll send you the book. Pre-release in October is what we said on the Facebook group. Diabetes type 2, the hot subject. Well, a bit of a mixed bag at the moment. I did go for the blood test last week, and I did start to record like a video log or a video diary, which will be part of the next video, which is scheduled this Sunday. However, went to the doctors this morning and they didn't know where the blood test results was, so they've actually phoned me this afternoon because they found them. As with the NHS, they don't generally give you results over the phone. So there's a meeting to see the nurse, I believe, next Thursday. So I won't know the results until at least next weekend. So once again, the video on Sunday, I'll have to be cancelled. I'll probably replace that. Okay, I've got 2 other videos which is lined up, already edited and ready for distribution. I was going to do that probably when I was on holiday, but we'll try and put replacement videos out just to keep the YouTube channel going, which obviously we're using this group to promote the videos. If people share them, then more people will discover what they are. The sole purpose of the videos at this moment in time is really just to grow the channel. They're going to make a lot more sense when the book's actually released. And obviously more videos there, more people will come across them, and more people will be aware of what we're trying to do. So that's pretty much for the diabetes type 2 update. The video that we did regarding the spare ribs, I still have the pans. I did say I was going to throw them, but we live in Wigan now, as most of us do, and we have this weird bin collection where they just collect bins once every 3 weeks. So I've actually got no place in the bin to get rid of them yet. So, but needless to say, they're not being used, they're just stuck there, which is great fun. So really that's probably all what I wanted to say. I was hoping for some questions or whatever. You know, I thought I might have got questions like, where do you get the pans from? Which you can't really. I mean, one of the problems with YouTube is that you can't really start promoting branding because they think you're getting paid for it and they'll charge a commission. But there are clues on the website. If you go to www.nadiet.info, you know, there's more information under the video links at the moment. What I'm going to do eventually is just change all those to icons, so that detail will probably disappear, and it'll just be a better way of grouping lots of videos, which will be a great thing. So this video is really exclusive to Facebook. We're doing it as a Facebook Live, and we'll probably do another one in a few weeks, maybe while we're in Bulgaria, which will be good. And if anybody's got any questions, then comment on this video and we'll move it forward to the next video. If not, I always get questions in the streets. I'll probably compile a list, which is what I've not done tonight, and go through those, which, you know, some people may or may not be interested in. Trying to think what else to say. Oh, I did get a question, which I remember, which was, how long do these videos take to actually do? Well, to be honest with you, the shortest one is taking about 6 hours, which is actually, hello James, who's joined us as well. So it takes about 6 hours where, you know, you just basically recording, editing, proofing, uploading to YouTube. I think the longest video was the spare ribs one, which was actually done over a month. And I think that took about 19 hours in total to actually produce that. But it was using multiple cameras and stuff like that, which is quite good. And obviously we've got cameras. Hello Tom, welcome. So we've got multiple cameras we're using. I mean, this one is actually using the Samsung A6 pad. We're using Galaxy S8s as remote cameras. We've got Canon 750Ds, which is doing the main shooting. There's also webcams dotted around, Z2 phones and stuff like that. So when you're editing and when you print things together, it can be potentially quite complicated, but also, you know, I mean, with the bloopers, you get tongue-tied that many times because you're thinking about what you're saying, what you're recording, how you're going to present it. So hence the bloopers, which some of them are quite funny. I remember I've just recorded one called Rings and Things, where it's touching on my daughter, or one of my daughters, and I was determined not to give the name out because I didn't want to embarrass her, and halfway through, obviously I said a name, which will have to be edited out, so things like that. So a lot of technical stuff, which is really, really good. And personally, I've been really happy with the videos. The bit where I've not been happy with was the news update, or the new, you know, diet news, as I called it. There's a lot of technical issues on that video, so we're just looking at how to redo those type of videos better. And also there's a lot of clips about food tampering and fake food, which is what I want to move forward to, and actually include the video clips on the news, just to make it more worthwhile instead of just having a view. I think it's better if you have a bit of evidence behind it as well. And that's going to move me on to August going through into September, where basically we'll be looking at foods in more detail, like I've always said, and I've always stick to, you can control your weight by not really changing what you eat. I do drive people mad at work saying, well, why are you having a curry, why are you having another gammon, or why are you having a big breakfast? But so we can do food challenges, I'm going to call it, which is really looking at foods, everyday foods. Quite often people think that they're eating healthily and they're eating at low calorie, low saturated fat and low carbohydrates, when actually what they're eating is huge in all of those. And it's just one of those things people don't realise. You're either getting a brand because it's cheaper, because it's on offer, and there's a lot more to it than that. However, there can't be much more to it than that. It's got to be simple, because if you start looking at food in great detail, it just becomes confusing. So I know there's tonight's programme a couple of weeks ago, and on about the chemicals for food tampering, and what, basically, can you guess the food from the chemicals and the content? I think that's just taking it way too far. There's a simple way of doing it. Superfoods, which is brilliant, full of nutrition, will help you improve your fitness, which is, really is a byproduct of what I was trying to do. I was trying to lose weight when I was a kid. Now it's a case of this thing really, really does improve your fitness. And, it's we can get there simply with it. That's the idea. We don't want to be too technical. I'm not a doctor, I work in IT. This is just something I come across when I was a kid, out of desperation to try and control weight. And like I said on one of the videos, when it was monitored by the NHS, that's when they realised is, it was altering the blood structure, it was improving health dramatically. So that once again was the byproduct. And then when I had a few people trying it in 2010 going into 11, I think it was, we had people with diabetes type 2, which at that time I didn't really think much of. It's just like, but like I said, medication was being reduced, people was running around as though they was on speed or something. I'm getting diagnosed in November with diabetes type 2 myself. It's obviously become an importance, and like I said previously, with the blood test, if I've gone back to diabetes type 2, I'll be absolutely gutted. If I'm impaired, then obviously it's helping. If it's now back into the normal range, then that'll be a wonderful thing. An early indication is, because a couple of weeks ago I had a stomach, like a really bad stomach cramp, so I ended up going over to hospital, and they tested for diabetes, I believe, using the old triglyceride testing, which is what I was talking about, and that reading was 1.7. And it's quite funny because the ambulance driver said, well, with a reading like that, there's no way at all is that you're diabetic. And my daughter just jerked up and said, oh, well, the book works then. And I got really funny looks from doctors and ambulance crews and things like that. So that sort of thing is encouraging. Unfortunate that I had these stomach cramps and stuff, which was really, really bad. However, that was just with stress, which is probably just having a really hectic life, trying to squeeze in the book, and being at work, which sometimes can be a bit stressful. So everything's fine now. So food challenges, the Great Sausage Challenge is planned. I'm gonna cover the tonight program, and a similar sort of thing as I did the current steps video, where I've been checking out on copyright law. You can use portions of material for education purposes and for parody, criticism, that sort of thing. So there'll be more of those type of videos as well, which I think is more enjoyable to watch than just seeing me sat there kind of wittering on about what I'm up to and what I'm doing. So I'm not too sure if anybody can comment on this thing. Hopefully that they can. What I'm going to do with the video is transport it magically across to YouTube, and it would just be my Facebook Live. I know a lot of people do YouTube Live, part of the Patreon type stuff. I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I'm going to try and self-fund the book. There are some expenses coming up, I think, particularly with copyright and distribution. So I might have a look at Indiegogo. One of the reasons why I'm doing that is because I know other people that's got books on there. And it's not the fact that you might get, 20 quid or something just to put somebody's name in a book. It's the fact that it is starting to be monitored by press, newspapers, radio stations. So it's a great way of advertising what you're doing and getting the word out. So it's more for that reason rather than the money side. But it's, I think the budget at the moment it's burned about £1,300 at the minute, and there's still a budget of about another £1,200 to make this as successful as such. so every penny counts, and you know, if people want to do that, then that's fine. So there's still a few people on. I don't know if there's any questions or anything like that. If not, I'm gonna crash out, enjoy my evening, prepare for the weekend where I'm finally gonna start writing about food. Which is, you know, you write a book which is over 300 pages, you've not even touched on food, which is, you know, crazy. But I think the key things which I've been doing is the exercise, you know, instant and convenient exercise, and in more particularly the times when you do exercise, when, you know, based on what you want to achieve. So all that's been done, rebuilding people's confidence, you know, because obviously when you're in a position where you can't lose weight, or you're generally not well, or you're in that sticky situation, your confidence actually reduces quite dramatically. So we just, you know, so that part of the book of building people up even before we start using the plan is all written. So that's what I'm up to. So a busy weekend for me writing. Like I said, some of the videos will be rescheduled, a couple of videos will be reintroduced. No questions have come through. So I think that's it. I think it's been quite good. We've had a few people on. And if you, like I say, if you think of any questions for the next time we do this, hopefully in probably a month's time, and we'll keep it exclusive to Facebook rather than YouTube Live. We'll put it on YouTube as live feeds, but it'll be the recorded version, not the live version. So there we go. So I'd just like to say, each and every one of you who's joined us today is thank you very much. Please like and share the videos. I'm actually going to upload the videos to Facebook as well, just so that it's a backup from YouTube. And like I say, YouTube could say, well, we don't want that video, you breach copyright, or you know, it's too controversial. So I'm going to load the videos up onto Facebook so that it's a backup, if nothing else, in case they get thrown off YouTube. So that's it. I'm off. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you soon. Hope that you enjoy the videos, and if you spotted the black peas error, please comment so I can actually get that bloopers video out. So thanks very much. Enjoy your evening. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you all soon. Thursday morning. Decided this is the day we're going to go for the blood test. So really nervous about this test on a few reasons. One, I'm back in diabetes range. It'd be an absolute disaster if I was. Right, so we're right now at the hospital, getting ready for doing the blood test. As you can see, I'm dressed, getting ready for work. We'll get the blood test done and see what happens with the result. The next video you'll probably find me on is at the doctor's when I'm getting ready to collect the result. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in a few minutes.